Hi, everyone. In just a second, I'm going to be introducing author Cristina Alger Wang, and we're going to be talking about her third novel that comes out this week called The Banker's Wife. And I can't wait for you guys to see the cover. I read it on NetGalley so that we could do this interview, but the cover is so good. Anyway, this story is amazing, okay? If you love a thriller, it's not even like, I don't know that I call it a thriller. It's like a fiction novel, like really good fiction crime novel almost. I don't know. I'll see what she has to say about that. But anyway, here is Christina. Hi, everyone. I am so excited because I'm speaking with author Cristina Alger, and I am so excited that I got to read this book, and I was so grateful because it is coming out this week, and I got it on NetGalley, and so I just want to show you guys the cover because I love the cover. I love that your name's in red because it stands out, and I'm loving the blue. Like, I don't know. I'm such a color. Like, I not just love covers, but I love the covers because you know what? On Instagram, people make pictures with these covers, and I love seeing what they can do, like artistically, with those colors. And I know that a lot of research goes into it too.
I know that Putnam made a really cool video. I don't know if you saw it, but where the train in the background is going by. I thought it was so amazing. I love covers. I always read books in hard copy because I love the cover so much. So
me too. I'm such a hard copy girl, and I'm loving that the trailers, like that publicists are coming out with because and you know, like it kind of leads to the whole excitement of the book. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, there's so much good TV on right now. I feel like books really have to compete with television for entertainment time. So trailers to me are really fun.
Because I read all the time.
I know, I do too.
Very little TV. Well, I'm going to let you talk about this because when it comes to these, I was just saying I do like an intro before I talk to you. And I was like, you know, Amazon has their genres that they pick out ahead of time. And sometimes I don't agree with them, you know, because I think that it's so like sometimes they do get the subcategories. They'll say like thriller and then they, you know, kind of go down. And I was like, yes, thriller. But I also looked at it kind of James Bondish in a weird way, like because of the international and the, you know, right? You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny. I really feel like I love reading thrillers, and I was a lawyer, so I love reading legal thrillers. Like I love Don Grisham, I love those sort of traditional male kind of spy thriller books that were so popular and really dominated the thriller space for so long. I kind of grew up reading those books, and now I feel like they're sort of thrillers have kind of bifurcated into like domestic thrillers and psychological suspense and these kind of spy thrillers. And I feel like there should be something in the middle, you know, where they have really strong kind of James Bond like women who are doing kind of cool, traditionally male kind of thrillery stuff. And so anyway, that was kind of where my jumping off place for this book was kind of bringing domestic thrillers and kind of spy thrillers together.
I am so happy I said that then because I was like, I hope she takes this the right way. But this was exactly how I felt reading it. I was like, this is like the female James Bondish, but it's all, you know, hopping countries and doing, I don't know, the international feel of it. And, you know, so I was like, I hope she understands what I'm saying when I say that because I read a lot of thrillers and it's like psychological domestic. It's domestic because it's involving family. So this kind of hits that point, but it's also like very, you know, very spy novelish. So anyway, I'm going to let you describe it because I don't want to tell too much and I'm going to, you know, and then I can like bounce off of what you say, basically.
Well, I try not to give too much away, but it's, The Banker's Wife it centers on two women. One is Annabelle Warner, whose husband is a private banker in Switzerland. They're American expats, and the book opens with a scene in which her husband gets on a private plane and it crashes in the Alps, and she becomes sort of immediately embroiled in all these sort of secrets and cover-ups that are uncovered when she kind of probes deeper into his death. And then the other character is a journalist who's investigating the bank that Matthew worked for. And the stories sort of quickly converge. And both women are kind of searching for the truth of what happened to this man, this banker, and the kind of scandal that he was embroiled in at his bank. So that's hopefully the sort of quick in a nutshell version of the book.
Yeah, and I want to say something that I got from the very beginning of the book, and things. Let's just tell our audience things happen, okay?
Things happen.
Things happen. I like that because one of my grandchildren said that to me. They were like, "Grandma, things happen." And I was reading this book, and I'm like, "Things happen, okay? There are things that happen." But the beginning, it's like I love how you put the couples together, and they were kind of a yin and yang couple. So then we had this couple, and they're not married yet. The journalist, they're engaged, but they're like this perfect, what you want to call couple. They're seeming so perfect. That right away I'm like, okay, they are so perfect, right? And then you had Annabelle with Matt, and then there was like seeming perfect, but then obviously we learn right away it wasn't perfect because he was where he wasn't supposed to be, and so then you're like, oh wow, she didn't even know where her husband was. So it's like, so we have like this seemingly perfect couple versus this, that to me was like the setup for it.
Yeah, and I thought, it was funny. One of the books that I really loved, and I read again when I was writing this book, was did you read The Expats by Chris Pavone?
Yes.
So he actually blurbed the book, which was really cool for me because I'm such a fan of his. But I think he wrote, The Expats really had that same kind of like, all the secrets that you keep in a marriage, and then layered on top of that, the kind of secrets spies keep sort of professionally. And I just thought it was so cool the way you sort of see, the way sort of people present themselves on the outside, not really reflecting sort of what's going on inside the marriage. And also, obviously, if you're, a spy, and there's sort of a corporate espionage level going on too. But anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. And so I also loved sort of contrasting the couples and kind of what you see on the outside versus what's going on behind closed doors.
Exactly. And it also seemed like a Mission Impossible like movie.
Yeah.
Really, but with a lead, like get a character to play Annabelle and Marina, and like get these two strong female characters that are just, that would be fun.
Yeah, it would be super fun. It was really important to me to have strong female protagonists, because I felt like right now there are a lot of thrillers where the women are kind of manipulative, or they're being manipulated, and there's a lot of that in the kind of thriller space, and so I really wanted to see two really strong kind of heroines. And so yes, thinking of it sort of cast in a movie would be so much fun. So
yeah, and you want to feel bad for Annabelle in the beginning, but I love how she wasn't a victim. She could have been a victim, but she was like, take charge, like, no.
Yeah. And you see her sort of fall back on her, she's obviously very intelligent, and she's tough, and she sort of is very resourceful. And so, I don't know, I think you sort of come to love her, or I did, as the book goes on.
Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody, and this isn't a giveaway because it's in the prologue. If it's in the prologue, I always feel really safe.
Yeah, totally. Then it's fair game.
My favorite line, and it was the last line of the prologue, and I'm going to read it for everybody, because when I'm opening up a thriller, like, there's always to me this sentence that makes me want to be like, yes, I want to know this story, So I was reading the prologue. It's only a couple of pages, and then you get to the last line, and I was like, yeah, I kind of screamed it out, but that's okay. They're talking about a plane. There's a plane crash. Okay. So she's talking about the plane, and you write, somewhere over the French Alps, it simply fell off the radar as though it had never existed at all. What a great way to start a spy novel. Like, because I was like, yes, what a great line. I loved it. I love that line. And I was like, yes, I want to know the whole story. That made me, engage into the whole story then.
Cool. I'm glad. Yeah, I had so much fun. The prologue I wrote really quickly, and I had this idea of this plane just going off the radar screen, and I wrote it, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably sit down and outline the rest of it. But I have like 3 really great pages. So anyway, that was I don't know, it was like this wake up in the middle of the night kind of thing where I was like, I have to write this story.
I love that. And it, like I said, because when you're reading a thriller, like in the very beginning, you're there has to be a hook. There's got to be
Yeah,
something that
sure.
catches you right away. And as soon as I read that, I was like, and there we go. And now we get the first, and it's kind of like, it takes you back. And, so I thought that was awesome. But I was a legal secretary for like years. So
Oh,
whenever
yeah.
I see someone who was a lawyer, I'm like, oh, I get you. Okay.
Lawyers who turn into writers, as I've learned, and it's kind of fascinating. I feel like a lot of lawyers and people in sort of law just like to read, and
Yes.
they can read quickly and comprehensively, and so I don't know. It's kind of I feel like it attracts a lot of readers and writers.
Well, I think it was fun because, like you said, John Grisham was kind of like the guy, and
Yeah.
I was working for a law firm when he came out, so everybody read his, it was like, oh my God, this lawyer became a writer, and it's so good, and he's talking law, and, but what I love now is like women lawyers are now, plus I think because you guys do so much writing, I mean, it's natural,
Yeah.
and you kind of do tell stories, in a different context,
Fiction is a big part of being a lawyer. No, yeah, you do tell stories, and it's funny. I actually think being, the discipline of writing, legal writing, is really helpful when you're writing thrillers because it makes you sort of think very clearly. And I feel like one of Grisham's gifts is that he's such a concise writer. Like his sentences are perfect. They're really well crafted, and who his characters are right away without him having to sort of go into great exposition about them. When you read The Firm, like, for example, or A Time to Kill, like one of the early ones, I feel like you just get his characters right away. And so I've always sort of, I have great admiration for Grisham, and I think I love, there's nothing better than a great legal thriller. That's what I like to read. So
yeah, he kind of set the bar, and then everybody just
he does set the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, he set it up, But I always thought, I raised 6 children. I always thought that I would go back. Like that was my fallback. I was going to go back to I worked for a very large firm in DC, and we did a lot, but I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to that. And then all of a sudden I find out like there is no such thing as legal secretaries anymore. Like I would have to go to school. And even though the stuff I did was probably the stuff that I would have to learn, so then that's why this exists, because I couldn't go do that. So that's why I started doing this.
And oh my God, 6 kids. I am seriously impressed. I have 2. So
well, it was always that
keeping me busy.
Yeah, it was always because I was doing it back in the 80s and 90s, and now with computers and everything today, like it's just not a job anymore. So anyway, so then I was like, what else am I good at? Oh, I read a lot. I homeschooled my kids. I read a lot. That's what I want to do.
Wow, that's very cool. Yeah. So, well, it's funny. I started writing The Darlings, my first book, when I was a lawyer, and I left because we sold the movie rights, and they wanted me to write the script, and so I left to do that. But I feel really lucky because then once I had my kids, I was writing full time, and it's a much more flexible, sort of forgiving job with children than working at a law firm where I was working 1 million hours a week, and I'm sure you occasionally were too. It's like it's a really tough business to have any kind of flexibility. So I love what I do. It doesn't feel like a job, and it's fun because I do it sort of when my kids are at school, and I can, except for this book tour that I'm about to go off on, and they're like, where's mom going? What is happening? But besides that, it's been amazing.
Oh, that'll be fun. Your writing is so enjoyable. I just want to, like, that's how, when I was reading it, I was just like, this is, like, I enjoyed your sentences, and, how the story flowed from one set of characters to the other set, and it made sense, and it was like that's what I kept thinking the whole time I was on a plane when I was reading this. Interesting enough, I was traveling too, and I was like, but it's so good. I was like, oh, this is so enjoyable. Like, this is just one of those books that you can just sit down and read and be just entertained.
That's the highest praise in my mind. I feel like, life is short and we all have very limited free time. So that's like what I want in my books, is to just, you could just zone out and enjoy it and feel like you're really immersed in whatever you're reading. And so anyway, I'm always really grateful when I hear that. So thank you.
Absolutely. Made a plane trip go like that.
I know, it's so funny. A friend of mine said, she's like, this book is like the perfect plane read. And I mean that in the best possible way. And also, I understand that a plane crashes in the first but besides that, it's a great plane read. I'm like, I totally get what you're saying. Thank you.
That's what I was saying. That's why I hesitate. I'm like, I was on a plane.
I know.
You know, the fact that a plane crash happens right away, it didn't stop me from reading it on the plane. So it's like, you know, I kept reading.
That's great.
Yeah. So this was your third book. This one, the last one came out in 2016. The one before that, 12. So I'm assuming like now you have to go on tour, but are you in the process of writing another one?
I am. I'm actually, that's what I was doing right before I talked to you. I sold another one to my editor who I did the Banker's Wife with. So it's we're hopefully it'll come out next summer. I'm working as hard as I can to get it done. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's, you know, I had the first one, The Darlings, was sort of a passion project that I just started when I was working as a lawyer, and it was something I did really for fun, and I never thought it would turn into anything, and then it did. And then I had my daughter, and I took a couple of years off to be a mom, and I really missed writing, and so I wrote my second, and now my kids are kind of a little bit big enough to be in school for a few hours a day, so I'm sort of back in the saddle writing thrillers, so it's been really fun.
Oh, I can't wait for your next one. And
you know,
I know that having children and writing a book a year, I mean, that is
yeah.
very busy, because like you got to promote. I mean, it isn't just about sitting down and writing, you know.
Yeah.
It isn't
yeah,
about that.
I know. I was telling my husband that, you know, I'm going to try and get on the book a year schedule, but it's tough because you're almost always kind of have one book, you know, about to come out and while working on another, and it's hard to shift gears, you know, like right now doing I'll start in the next week doing a lot of events for Banker's Wife and writing articles, and then I have to sort of shift back to this other world that I'm creating. And so, but it's fun. It's, you know, I everything I do is fun, so I can't complain because I sort of labor of love.
Yeah, that is absolutely, that's what the key is, right? Is to have fun with it. And I can tell, you know, I can tell. But an author said to me yesterday, she called it the sweet spot. The time when you send the book off to the editor and it's done until it comes out is when she does her most writing. And she called it the sweet spot.
Totally. I love that. Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's like a few weeks there where you feel like you just did something really significant. Yes. And so you can kind of just get in the zone with your next project, and it's awesome. I think right now I'm not in the sweet spot. I'm like in the middle of like a tornado, but yeah, hopefully I'll be back there around August or so.
Yeah, this is not, it's like one of those things that you can't complain about, because the reason you are so busy is because this is going to be a huge success. I can tell already.
Thank you.
It really is. I mean, I've seen all the reviewers, and I've seen everything behind, you know, what's going on, and this is going to be a huge hit, and it's going to be a lot of fun to, you know, go out there and talk about it.
I hope so. So it was a lot of fun to write. I'm sort of in love with this book. I feel like I had so much fun writing it, and so I hope it comes through in the pages and people enjoy reading it.
Oh, it really did. At one point, I'm like, I want to be in her head in the middle of the night when this stuff's all, you know, when she's thinking of this stuff.
I don't sleep a whole lot, as my husband can tell you. I do a lot of work at night when my kids are asleep, and so we were actually joking last night. My husband's like, your next book should be a thriller called While You Were Sleeping, because I have no idea what you do at night. Like, I feel like you have this whole world that goes on, and it's all sort of dark and mysterious. But anyway, that is when I do a lot of my writing.
You know what? I think that's what children prepare us for, is, you know, realizing how little sleep we actually need to function. Okay.
Totally. They broke me in early, so.
Well, let me just show off this cover one more time in my photos that I have, because it is beautiful. I can't wait till this is all over the place next week when this video comes out. All of Cristina's links are going to be listed underneath here. You're going to be able to hit on it, go buy it right away, one click, which I love so much. And thank you so much. It was a thrill. It was really a lot of fun to read. I'm so grateful that I could do that. So.
Well, I'm so grateful you read it. Thank you so much for having me on.
You know where to find me, you know, next summer when you have your next one.
For sure. Hopefully.
Yeah, and have fun. Have a great tour, and I'll see you on social media.
Okay, sounds great. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was so much fun. Thank you guys for watching my talk with Christina. I loved her. I mean, you can really tell how much fun she had writing this book. There is no doubt. I mean, it's amazing. It really is. It's so different. So different than the other thrillers that I've read that, have scared me. This is not like that. It is not like scary thriller. It's like fun. Okay? Like I said, it's like a Mission Impossible movie with female characters. So anyway, thank you, Christina, and thank you for letting me read the book ahead of time. Everyone, the book is out. The link is below. Go buy it.